Hello, my name is David Valentine. I'd like to welcome you to the Circuitry of Chesed video series. This video series is going to deal exclusively with revealing many of the hidden concepts contained within the Torah scroll. The Torah scroll is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. That would be Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It's also known as the 5 books of Moses. The main goal that this video series seeks to accomplish is revealing the Torah scroll as a document that teaches energy exchange. Many of the stories within the Torah scroll are describing the processes and procedures necessary for the characters within the Torah scroll to obtain, exchange, and extinguish a form of energy that the characters had acquired from the Creator. The characters within the Torah scroll will utilize code words, code phrases, and encoded actions to transmit the energy between each other. Now, it's important to understand that the Torah scroll was purposely scripted in such a way as to conceal the nature of energy exchange from the casual reader. But with patience and persistence, the concept of energy exchange will be revealed within this video series. This video series will focus its attention on Abraham's timeline. It is within Abraham's timeline where the hidden nature of energy exchange will reveal itself. I'm going to detail all the events that involve Abraham, starting from his birth and ending with his death. I'm going to translate the verses from the Torah scroll into cartoons. The cartoons will provide a visual representation of the actions that are occurring within each event of Abraham's life. The cartoons will set the stage so that an accurate exegesis of the Torah scroll can be extrapolated. The cartoons will help to alleviate the possibilities for an individual to inject personal bias or bizarre conjecture into the exegesis. Chesed is the first code word that needs to be decoded in order for the concept of energy exchange to be revealed within the Torah scroll. Chesed is the word the characters within the Torah scroll use to reference the act of energy being exchanged between each other. Chesed is a Hebrew word that means kindness, although there is an ulterior intention working behind the scenes when the characters within the Torah scroll use the word chesed in their dialogues. They will say, "Do me kindness," but what they're really saying is, "Do me an energy exchange." So, after we discuss Abraham's timeline, we will talk about the Chesed triad and how it is possible to decode the true meaning of Chesed within the Torah scroll. So ultimately, a logic mainframe will be constructed in order to keep track of every individual energy exchange that occurs between characters within Abraham's timeline. Actions will be defined, controlled, and constrained, all in the effort to produce a Torah scroll interpretation forged from pure logic. Righteousness is the name of the energy that is being relayed between the characters within the Torah scroll. Many times within the Torah scroll, we can find characters calling other characters righteous. This is the way the characters will direct the righteousness off themselves and onto another character. The righteousness is always seeking to deposit itself onto the most righteous entity within the scene. The characters within the Torah scroll will substitute the word righteousness with code words and code phrases to transfer the righteousness off themselves and onto other characters. So here, the Torah scroll has within itself a hidden network that is based solely around masking phrases with the word righteousness. I call it the logic of righteousness network. For those watching this video that have studied the Torah scroll, you are probably familiar with how there are certain phrases being repeated over and over and over again within the Torah scroll. For example, the phrase stars of heaven, inherit gate of foes, kindness and truth, great nation, and so on. There's a reason why these particular phrases are being repeated within the Torah scroll. These particular phrases became equivalent with righteousness in a past dialogue. So when a character says, inherit gate of foes, they are really saying, you are righteous. The energy will shift between characters due to the code phrase. So you will see common phrases will link dialogues together. Righteousness will flow between the common phrases to infect the other phrases within the dialogue with righteousness. And I will go into great detail in later videos to step you through the process to build the network. Also, there is an expanding pattern encrypted within the Torah scroll that will be revealed within Abraham's timeline. This phenomenon I am calling the power panels. Information was again purposely scripted within the Torah scroll to describe a pattern. The pattern is sending a signal to the reader of the Torah scroll where to find phrases accredited with similar attributes. Now, what is interesting to see is how the pattern repeats throughout Abraham's timeline and is also expanding with each repetition. The expanding pattern will be utilized to confirm the existence of the logic of righteousness network. The concept of energy exchange being encrypted within the Torah scroll is an original concept that has yet to be introduced to the Torah scroll observing community. There is no written documents that can attest to being the predecessor of this information. There is not, nor has there ever been, any pastor, preacher, teacher, or rabbi that has taught the revelation of energy exchange. So this is a new perspective or interpretation to some very old information. I would like to say that it is a very exciting moment for those truly interested in the Torah scroll. This information will breach into areas within the Torah scroll to help us understand what is truly occurring within the scriptures. Ultimately, this information will bring a heightened awareness as to why we so desperately need the sacrificial temple and the burnt offering. The sacrificial animals play a role in extinguishing the righteousness, extinguishing the energy. So, the information that I'm revealing here within this video series was first arranged and put into a book. The book is entitled The Circuitry of Chesed. If you are interested in this concept of energy exchange and want to get a copy, go to www.ancientriddle.com to purchase one. In the next video, we will look at the characters that play a role within the events in Abraham's timeline.